Hey everyone, Beth here. For anyone that hasn't met me in studio before or on this platform, lovely to be here with you, bringing you a class from my house to your house. And today it will be a wild flow class. The class will focus a little bit on core stability postures, so more towards the challenging side of the spectrum, but it is good to have a challenge every now and then. So hopefully you enjoy this one. All right, we'll start today in child's pose, coming towards the back of the mat, bringing big toes together, knees out wide, and then walking your hands forward so that your chest and your forehead descend down towards the mat, hips come down towards the heels. And you find a comfortable shape here for your body. So if you need any supports, maybe a prop, a pillow, a blanket under your forehead or under your hips, go ahead and pop those there now. And if this shape isn't comfortable at all, then take a one that is. Find a different shape. It doesn't really matter what shape it is right now, because the point of this part of the practice is just to settle in and get centered. So you can start here by noticing perhaps all the points of connection that your body is making with the mat below you. If you're in child's pose, you might start at the fingertips and notice how they rest there on the mat. So do your hands and your forearms, your elbows, your knees, your shins, the tops of your feet, and your hips press down gently onto your heels, pressing the whole foot down into the mat. And maybe you notice with that awareness of the connection your body is making with the mat, that you can start to cultivate a sense of groundedness here. So you're here still in this position, and it's a good opportunity to just ground down, noticing how supported you are by that structure below you, whatever it is, the floor of your house, maybe you're outside on the grass, and your mat's probably there between you. And you're so supported, you know that, so that your body can just completely soften and relax here. Sometimes we need a little bit of help to do that, and the breath is always there as a tool. When you're ready, you start drawing the breath into your body in a really slow and conscious way. If it's available for you, then in and out through the nose is a nice option for yoga. Helps to control the breath a little bit more. But whatever medium you're choosing, a nose or a mouth breath, just let it be nice, slow, long and deep, as much as you can. And let's take 5 more deep breaths here in child's pose. Seeing if you can let each exhale release and soften your body just a touch more. When the 5 breaths are complete, stay in your child's pose. Start to walk your hands over towards the left side of the room. So then you feel a nice stretch and opening through the right side of your body. You breathe in there to the side ribs, expanding and keeping your right hip pressed down towards the heel. So not a lifting of the hips here. An encouragement for them to stay back where they were as you stretch through the right side body. One more deep breath in here, and then exhale, come back to center. Stay for a breath in. Exhale, walk your hands over towards the right. And then you walk the left fingertips maybe just a touch more as you press back into the right the left hip. And you breathe into the side ribs, the left side ribs, as you really expand and open through that side. Staying here for one more deep inhale. On the exhale, coming back to center. Just tent up onto your fingers now, so fingertips press into the mat. Use that to start to arch your back a bit here, so still pressing the hips down, but finding a bit more of a rounding through the back. Often we dip the back in child's pose. So a rounding here just to counterbalance that for a moment. One more deep breath in, and then on the exhale, let's come up to hands and knees, where we'll take a few rounds of cat-cow just to connect movement with breath. So inhale, dip the belly, lift the tail, gazes forward, roll shoulders back and down. Exhale, round the spine, arch the back, let the gaze come in towards the belly. Inhale, drop the belly, gaze forward, lift the tail, shoulders plug down. Exhale, round the back, arch the spine, the gaze comes in. Two more like that. Inhale, dip the belly. Exhale, round the back, push the earth away. Inhale, dip the belly. Exhale, arch and round. On the next in-breath, come back to neutral. And as you exhale, extend your right leg back towards the back of the room. Let it be parallel with the mat. Think here about drawing the belly in, pressing into your left knee and your right hand. On your next inhale, can you take your left arm forward? So you're reaching opposite hand and leg to the front and back of the room. And you're really steady here with the belly drawn in. Take a deep inhale, lengthen, and then on the exhale, press the earth away, bring lifted elbow into lifted knee underneath the body, rounding through the back. Let's hold it here for another breath in and an exhale out. Then we go one breath, one movement. So inhale, extend, reach and kick. Exhale, bring it to the center, rounding the back as you do. Inhale to extend. Exhale to the center. Inhale, extend long. Exhale to the center. Inhale, reach and kick, draw the belly in. Exhale to the center. Last time here, inhale, reach. Exhale, return hand and knee to the mat. Take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. On that exhale, extend your left leg back. Stay for the inhale, draw the belly in, and an exhale. When you inhale next time, take the right arm forward. So now you've got opposite the other one's hand and foot reaching for the front and back of the room, and you stay here pressing into the grounded hand and the knees, so you're not dipping into the shoulder, you're pressing out. One more deep breath in, then on the exhale, around the back as you bring lifted elbow to lifted knee underneath the body. Stay here for a breath in and a breath out. On your next inhale, reach forward, kick back. On the exhale, crunch it into the center. Let's flow with that. Inhale, reach and kick. Exhale to the center. Inhale, extend, kick back. Exhale to the center. Inhale to reach. Exhale in. Inhale, reach long. Exhale in. Last time, inhale, reach long. Exhale, return to the mat. Let's find a puppy pose. Walk your hands forward, keeping your hips over your knees. Let your chest come down towards the mat. And you might let your chin rest on the mat, or your chin might be just hovering in space, or your forehead might rest there on the mat. Up to you which variation you want to take today. Just a pose to start to open through the chest and the shoulders as you let your chest come down towards the mat. And we'll stay here just for one more deep breath in. Then on your exhale, come forward to a Sphinx pose. Let your lower body touch down on the ground, legs are long, elbows are under the shoulders, roll the shoulders back and down, let the gaze just be to the front of the mat. A little restorative back bend at the start of the class. Feels really nice. Take one more deep breath in. Then on the exhale, we'll come down to the mat. Bring your hands by your rib cage. From here, we'll press up to plank, and you can come through the knees if you like, or you press up to a high plank position where your knees are off the ground. Whichever one you're in, start to feel some heat building through the body as we stay here for a few breaths, letting the crown reach forward, the heels reach back, pressing the earth away with the hands, creating a little rounding through the upper back. Staying here for one more deep breath in. Then on your exhale, lift your hips back, find a downward facing dog. A little bit of movement here is always encouraged, so you do what feels right for your body, but common options are coming up onto the toes of the feet, switching them over, so one at a time. Or maybe you bend the knees a lot here. You might take some movement in the hips. Your practice, your choice. Do what feels good for your body. You've got another 3 or so breaths to do that there. And when the 3 breaths are complete, just start to let your heels come towards the ground. So no requirement for them to meet the ground, absolutely not at all. But coming to that stationary down dog where your chest is coming closer towards your thighs, perhaps a slight bend in the knees if that helps you to feel more length through your back. And then your heels sort of search for the floor. Maybe they do find the floor. From here, we'll ripple forward into a high plank, so back where we were. So rippling the body forward, letting the shoulders come over the wrists there. That strong line of energy through the body as we zip up the core. One more deep breath in here. Then exhale, downward facing dog. And we'll flow through those now. So inhale, come forward, find your high plank, hold it strong, stay for the exhale. Another breath in. Downward facing dog on the exhale. A few more times through that. Inhale, come forward, ripple the body forward, stay for the exhale. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple forward. Stay for the breath out. Stay for the breath in. Downward facing dog. Last time, inhale, ripple forward, strong body press the other way, stay for the X. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come up onto the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, step, hop, walk forward to the front of the mat. Find a forward fold for your body here. You might like ragdoll at this part of the class, and you take hold of the opposite elbow with the hands. And if you're in that bind, a little swing side to side in the upper body usually feels nice. Always remembering in a forward fold to take as much bend in the knees as you need or as feels good for your body, so that your chest comes closer towards your thighs and you feel a nice sensation in the back, the whole back body, not too much tension there in the back of the legs. 2 more deep breaths here in this forward fold. When those 2 breaths are complete, drape your hands down towards the mat, and we'll start to rise the body up to standing, just coming nice and slow on the next in-breath. Hands will stay down towards the mat for now, so you roll the shoulders back, open the chest. Then the next in-breath takes the hands to the sky, and on the out-breath, diving all the way down, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Draw the belly in, lengthen the spine out from the pelvis. Neck is in one long line with the spine. One more deep breath in here, and then exhale, plant the hands. Let's step back to a downward facing dog. From here, coming through a vinyasa, inhale forward to a high plank. Exhale to lower down. You come all the way down to the mat if cobra is your back bend, or halfway down if upward facing dog is in your practice. Then on the exhale breath, everyone finds a downward facing dog. Inhale onto the toes. Exhale, bend the knees. Step, hop, or walk forward to the front. Halfway lift, in breath. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, reach for the sky. One breath this time. Exhale, forward fold, dive back down. Halfway lift breath in. Exhale, plant the hands, downward facing dog. Vinyasa is here, forward on the inhale. Exhale to lower. Back bend breath in. Down dog, breath out. Inhale onto the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, step, hop or walk forward to the front. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up, reach for the roof. Exhale, dive back down, forward fold. Halfway lift, breath in. Exhale, plant the hands, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, high plank. Exhale to lower. Back bend, breath in. Down dog, breath out. Good, let's take a long breath in here and a long exhale out. One more like that, long breath in and a long exhale out. And now we'll start to set up for our flow. The first time through, coming through a bit slower, spending a few breaths in each pose, feeling into them. Subsequent rounds will flow one breath, one movement. Let's start now with the right leg. Take it high on the in-breath. And your option just this first time is to open up your hip if that feels good for you there. So bringing the knee towards the roof, heel towards the back side. We'll take one more deep breath in. Then on the exhale, the right knee will come towards the right elbow as we shift forward into a plank pose. On the inhale, take the leg high to the sky, three-legged dog. Then on the exhale, knee comes towards forehead as we shift forward in the same way. Inhale, three-legged dog, lift up again. Exhale, let's come to the opposite side, right knee to left elbow. And we'll stay there for a breath in and a breath out. As you inhale next time, extend your right leg long so it's towards the left side of the room and start to come onto the bottom of your back foot. Start to look forward, and then on an exhale, drop your hips towards the mat if that feels okay for you. So you're starting to look forward, chest is forward, but you get a nice stretch through the outside of the right hip as they come down towards the mat, and you'll probably roll onto the knife edges of both feet there when you do that. From here, we're pressing up into a fallen triangle. So when you're ready, start to lift the hips, plant the back foot down, lift the left hand up as you lift the hips up. And we'll stay here for another breath in and a breath out. One more inhale. Exhale, left hand plants down, right knee to chest. Inhale, three-legged dog, lift the leg. This time, exhale, we'll step the right leg through between the hands to find a low lunge. Staying here for a moment, feeling a nice juicy hip opening pose here, maybe a little bit of movement if that feels good for you. Circles or a little bounce up and down. Sometimes the more dynamic stretches can feel really good. But where we're going from here is an aeroplane. So if you don't want to go to aeroplane, you could just reach back, come into a low arrowhead. Or if aeroplane is okay for you, you want to give that a go, then you spring off the back foot, lift the hands to heart, gaze down towards the mat. Let the body become nice and flat and straight and strong. Grounding in through the standing leg. Take one more deep breath in. On the exhale, with control, bending the front knee, let's come back to a low lunge. Plant the left hand down. On an inhale, take the right hand high. Find a revolved lunge. And your gaze can come up towards the top hand as you stack the shoulders. One more deep breath in, and then we'll move to a side plank. So you can either ground the back knee or you can keep it lifted as you step the right foot back, stacking it on top of the left if you've got the knee lifted. And then your hand reaches up, you stack the shoulders there, lift the hips, Take a deep breath in and an exhale out. On your next inhale, sweep the right arm forward, reach for the front of the room. Then on the exhale, circle down to the mat, find plank pose. Inhale to shift forward. Exhale to lower. Find your back bend on the inhale and down dog on the exhale. Good, take a deep breath in and a long breath out. One more like that, deep breath in, long exhale out. Then we take the left leg high on the in-breath. And again, this first time through, you might like to open up the hip on this side. So bringing the knee towards the roof, heel towards the back side. Starting to stack the hips as you keep the shoulders level. One more deep breath in, and then exhale, left knee comes towards left elbow as you shift forward into a plank style pose. Inhale, lift up, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee towards forehead this time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. And then we hold it here, strong through the arms. One more deep breath in and an exhale out. Then you extend the left leg, in line with the hip towards the right side. As you start to look forward, drop the hip down towards the mat and perhaps you come onto the knife edges of both feet there. Gaze is forward. You feel that nice juicy stretch along the left side, the outer hip. And you know where we're going now from here into fallen triangle. So when you're ready, you start to pick the hips up, ground the back foot, lift the right hand up, press the hips high. One more deep breath in. Then on the exhale, right hand plants down, left knee in towards the belly. Inhale, three-legged dog, lift the left leg. Exhale, knee towards the chest, plant the left foot down, low lunge. First time on this side, so again, opportunity to find a bit of movement in your low lunge, feeling into the hip opener that it is. Let's take 2 more deep breaths. And then aeroplane is the next place we're going, but again, low arrow is an option if you stay in your low lunge and reach back. Or aeroplane, you start to spring off the back foot, lift the hands to heart, find extension through the body as your crown reaches forward, toes are back. Lots of strength and stability through the grounded leg. Gaze is on one spot to keep you steady. Let's stay here for one more deep breath in. Then on the exhale, returning to a low lunge, bending through the front knee, tapping down with lots of control, hands come towards the ground. Inhale, left hand high. Let's find a revolve. A little twist for the spine. One more deep breath in. On the exhale, side plank. So step the left foot to meet the right, stack it. Keep the left hand reaching up towards the roof, and always an option here to ground the bottom knee. Keep lifting the hips up. One more deep breath in. Exhale out. On the next inhale, reach your left arm to the front of the room. On the exhale, circle it down to the mat. Find plank pose. Inhale to shift forward. Exhale to lower. Back bend, breath in. Down dog, breath out. Take a deep breath in and a long exhale out. One more like that, deep breath in, long exhale out. And now we will flow one breath, one movement. So inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to forehead. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Extend your leg, plant it down on the inhale. Exhale, drop the hips towards the mat. Inhale, press up, find fallen triangle, left hand to the roof. Exhale, left hand down, knee to chest. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the foot through, low lunge. Inhale, come up to aeroplane, or you could take a low arrow. And then exhale, return with control back to a low lunge. Inhale, right hand high. Exhale, step the right foot back, side plank. Inhale, reach forward with the right hand. Exhale, return it to the mat, plank pose. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower. Back bend, breath in. Down dog, breath out. Straight away, left leg lifts, inhale. Left knee, left elbow, exhale. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Inhale, extend the leg, plant the foot. Exhale, drop the hips towards the mat, look forward. Inhale, fallen triangle. Lift the right hand and the hips, plant the back foot. Exhale, hand to the mat, knee to chest. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it through, low lunge. Inhale, lift off, find aeroplane. Exhale, return, low lunge. Inhale, left hand to the sky. Exhale, step back, side plank. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, circle down, plank pose. Shift forward on the in-breath. Exhale to lower. Back bend, breath in. Down dog, breath out. One more time each side. Right leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to forehead. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Extend the leg on the in-breath. Exhale, drop the hips towards the mat. Inhale, fallen triangle, lift the hips and the left arm high. Exhale, left hand to the ground, knee to chest. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, come up to aeroplane. Exhale, return to low lunge. Revolve right hand to the sky, in breath. Exhale, side plank. Inhale, sweep the arm forward. Exhale, circle down, plank pose. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower. Back bend, breath in. Down dog, breath out. Then we take the left leg high, inhale. Left knee to left elbow, exhale. Three-legged dog, in breath. Exhale, knee to forehead. Three-legged dog, inhale. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Extend the leg long on the in-breath. Exhale, drop the hips towards the mat. Inhale, finding fallen triangle, plant the back foot, lift the hips and the right arm. Exhale, hand to mat, knee to chest. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, foot between the hands, low lunge. Inhale, lift up, find aeroplane. Exhale, low lunge. Revolve, lift the left arm on the inhale. Exhale, step back, plank pose, lift the hips, side plank. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, circle down. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale to lower. Back bend, breath in. Down dog, breath out. Then we'll come forward into a high plank. And we'll hold it as we start to lower for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release onto the mat, find a Sphinx pose. So a little bit of work we did just there, and now is a good time to wind down. I'm feeling like I'm ready, so hopefully you are too. Shoulders on top of the elbows for Sphinx, just like we did at the start of the class. This time we're going to combine it with a bit of a hip opener, so a frog on one side, it's sort of like a half frog, bringing the left knee out so it's in line with the hip, knees bent. And then you can settle into this posture here as you feel hopefully a nice opening through your left hip at the same time as this more restorative back bend. And if your breath has escaped you somewhat, or maybe it's just shortened during the flow, this is the start of your time to bring it back to that beautiful long pace that it was at the start. And we know that the breath here is just as important in these more still postures as it is when we flow. We'll just stay here for 2 more deep breaths on this side. And when the 2 breaths are complete, we're moving to sort of a supine twist, and we'll take an interesting route there. So take your left hand under your right, thread it over towards the right side of the room. No, that was wrong. Take your right arm over towards the left, thread it under. Take your left arm up, over, all the way back towards the right side of the room, keeping your left knee grounded perhaps, or maybe it lifts just a bit off. Either is totally fine. You find then just a gentle supine twist. We'll stay here for another breath in. And on the exhale out, start to unwind, come back to the center. And we'll find the same 2 positions on the other side. So Sphinx with the upper body, and then the right knee comes out this time, taking it towards the right side of the room, basically in line with the hip if you can. You find a gentle opening through the right hip as you keep your upper body in a soft back bend. And this is the part of the class where, if you haven't already, you might like to close down your eyes. Because these more still postures not only give us an opportunity to come back and connect really completely with the breath, but also to soften more into the body. Softening the mind too, as we have a chance to become perhaps more internally focused. And stay here for 2 more deep breaths. When those 2 breaths are complete, left hand threads over towards the right, right hand comes up, over, all the way back towards the left, and you find your body there in a supine twist. So knee stays where it was, or maybe it lifts just a bit off as you twist around. And you feel a nice counter twist for your spine. Stay here for 1 more deep breath in. And on the exhale out, wind back to the center. Let's come to a closed-legged child's pose, bringing knees together, hips back towards the heels, arms, hands back towards the feet, forehead towards the mat. And a nice little softening pose, taking the opposite arch in the spine than what you did in a Sphinx pose. It's a counterbalance, and it's also just a really nice posture, this one, for internalizing more perhaps as we wind down the practice. So sometimes I think about becoming a little seed here, planting down into the ground, creating that sense of groundedness like we talked about in child's pose. Really connecting in with the space and myself, my body, and my breath. And we'll take 2 more deep breaths here. When those 2 breaths are complete, just roll onto one of your hips, so roll onto one side, extend your legs out in front. We will take a pretty short forward fold here before coming down and wrapping up the class. When you're ready, take an inhale, lifting the spine nice and tall, crown towards the sky. Then on your exhale, start to hinge at the hips, bring your chest down towards your thighs. Find your forward fold. You can place your hands wherever is comfortable for you. Maybe they're on the mat, maybe they're on the legs. Maybe they take hold of the feet. If you want to, you could pop a block at the end of your feet, take hold of that block. Personal preference here, whatever feels good for your body is exactly what you should do. And we'll just stay for another 3 deep breaths. When those 3 breaths are finished, you can rise your body up so that you can rise it, or lower it perhaps, all the way down to the mat. And then you find your whole body resting on the mat, but bring your feet up towards the sky. Let's take a quick happy baby here. Feet up towards the sky, taking hold of the feet from the inside. I like to, some people prefer the outside. You choose what works for you. You're guiding your knees towards your armpits, perhaps a bit lower towards the floor if that feels good. And you might sway side to side in the body. I like here also to play around with taking hold of my big toes with peace fingers, extending one leg long, keeping the rock going, extending the other leg, and maybe both legs extend and you still keep that little sway side to side. We'll stay here for 3 more deep breaths, whichever option you've taken. When those 3 breaths are finished, bend your knees if they're not already. Place your feet back on the ground and we'll finish in a pose of your choosing. You could either come into a normal Shavasana where your legs are long, arms are by your sides, or you might like a Supta Baddha Konasana where your feet are together, knees are out wide, hands then can rest on the body. Or if you'd prefer seated, that's a great option too. I'm going to finish up here in Supta Baddha Konasana. I love a hip opener at the end of a class. And when you found your pose that suits you, where you're comfortable, can you spend just a bit of time here consolidating your practice? So now that your breath doesn't need to be so controlled because we're not moving, we're not in a particular posture, can you keep your awareness on it? And let it just flow in and out. Maybe it helps to take account to your breathing, if that helps you keep your awareness there. And a really good one to do is just count up to 10. So the inhale would be 1, the exhale would be 2, the inhale 3, exhale 4, and you go all the way up to 10 before starting again at 1. If you've got time, I suggest doing that for as long as you can. And if you haven't got heaps of time, just give it at least 2 rounds. If you get lost along the way and you lose your counts, you just start back again at 1 without any judgment, because everyone gets a little bit sidetracked sometimes. And I'm going to leave you here with that now, but I hope you enjoyed your practice and I will see you again really soon.